Ethan Ralph has smelled blood in the water, and he has called out the cringe casino. He's been here. We have Andy Worski, aka Abortski, aka Crackski, Cokeski, bro. He didn't do Crackarooski Crack Rock. He did Coke. Being shook by Razorfist. Well, what could that mean? Let's take a listen.
We read some tweets and like made some jokes. And then it's like, okay, well, that's it. Move on. You made your part, that's it. So I don't have anything else to say. Like, if there's going to be like a legal issue, like reach out to us with your fucking shit and we'll retract if we lied about anything or whatever. But honestly.
So, before I talk about this, I did reach out to both parties involved for more information. Neither of them have responded to me. So I tried to do my bit a little bit early, but let's just say. Okay, so what did exactly the Kino Casino say about Razorfist? Razor, because he spelled the O like Motorhead, which is wrong and it doesn't make sense. But what does Razorfist have to say about, or Kino Casino have to say about Razorfist? Let's take a listen. These are apparently defamatory statements clipped by Jacob Murdoch in defense of Razorfist.
Jerk-off tape that he uploaded to the internet in 2011. He uploaded it himself. This is him fucking jacking himself off there online. I'm not kidding.
What the fuck?
This is Razorfist taking his little fucking pecker and rubbing it until full fucking completion. He filmed this and uploaded it, so far as I know, by himself. This is their domestic incident. And we have here abusive. Silent Ones doesn't know. A lot of people don't know about this lore, but it's all true. It's all true, and it gets crazier and crazier. This isn't even nothing. The next revelations will blow your mind. This is abusive. This is textbook abuse. Guys, if you want to see all of it, the whole sex tape, the whole nine, you can go to this Kiwi Farms thread. You can read through all of this. This is all like true.
This is like it's not made up. This is
So yeah, I will repeat. She dated Razorfist from ages 15 to 20. But the idea that you're introducing a teen girl to Lolita when you're a 30-year-old man is very fucking troubling. It indicates that it's your fantasy to groom a teenage girl. Razor, this doesn't look good, Razor. This is the guy who's telling you what you can and can't jerk off to. This is the man who's such a moral Puritan that he's going to spurg in purity spiral over pixel tits in a game. And he's grooming a 15-year-old girl when he's 30. So when she was 15, she met him. And the internet dated for 3 years until she was 18. He groomed her. So
he was caught jerking off and then he pushes her?
Yeah. Razorfist is on camera jerking off. He has his own fucking gooner tape. He got caught by his girlfriend jerking off, got fucking exposed.
Okay, so those are pretty heavy statements. The issue is that Razorfist's response to this was incredibly fucking retarded. And before I even show that, I want to show something else. Let me just pull this up really quick. The other person being threatened by Razorfist at this moment is this. This is Smash JT. I will save you this. This video is literally just Smash JT live reacting to the Kino Casino with almost absolutely no commentary whatsoever. Occasionally he cuts away to this. I didn't know that this is what Smash JT looked like, by the way. It was not what I was expecting based on his picture of himself. And then he does like a little bit of commentary, but it's mostly just the Kino Casino. So he's attempting to threaten Smash JT and then also Kino Casino for these claims. And here's the issue from a legalistic standpoint. The issue is that what they're saying is based off of allegations made by Eve, who is the person claiming to be groomed. So they are simply reiterating and giving their opinions based off what was made public by his ex-girlfriend. So if those are defamatory statements, the defamatory claim originated with this person, and if Razorfist wants to sue anybody, he would have to sue the woman that originated the claims. If he tried to sue them, they would just get dismissed under anti-SLAPP because they were simply reacting to information that they had available, and the only information that they had available was the information originated by his ex-girlfriend. And do they have any reason to doubt her? At the time, no, not really. Razorfist's video response to this, which is this, is really bad. And I'm going to try to do my wishy-washy fin-sitter thing here. I don't dislike Razorfist. The only other time I've ever spoken about him on stream was his Twitter account got hijacked by his girlfriend, and I am almost certain that it was Eve that hijacked it because she was a spicy Latinx. And I think that Razorfist was kind of going down like a religious path at this time. I think now he's like fully out as like a born-again Christian or something. But at the time he was like going down the path and very anti-pornography publicly. And his girlfriend caught him gooning in the bathroom. So while he was in there jerking off, given the 21 gun salute, she took his phone or went to his computer and logged on to Zitter and said, "Hi, my name is Razorfist. I'm a fucking hypocrite. I talk to him about porn, but I masturbate to porn in the bathroom while my poor girlfriend is outside doing chores or whatever the fuck." And then he got his account back and he says, "Whoops, we didn't mean for you to see that. That's what happens when you don't have two-factor authentication, kids. Sometimes your account just gets hijacked." So he tried to like play it off as fake. And then that Eve woman completely fucking disappeared and he never spoke about her again until just recently. Which obviously is very, very funny. But, you know, an audience is quick to forgive shit like that because it's just like silly. It doesn't really impact them at all. It's like whatever. I've seen a few of his videos and I think I like them. He has a very performative style where his name is the Rageaholic. So his videos are like, I think all in one take, and he reads a script in a really bombastic way that's like over the top, performative with lots of alliterations and rhyming and stuff. And it's supposed to be like a rant, and that's his trademark video. And in particular, he did a series of videos on Michael Jackson and how Michael Jackson was framed, and they were very, very persuasive. And I actually kind of, I'm leaning to, I don't, based off what I've seen, which is just what the media reported and then also what he showed, I actually kind of believe him when he says Michael Jackson didn't do it, and then Sony murdered him because he owned half their catalog. I actually kind of believe that. His video is good. So, that is to say, I have a mostly positive opinion about this guy. And I'm willing to believe he is the victim of defamation if he can prove it. And his video attempts to debunk the two things. Number one is the jerking off video. And I think he does a pretty good job of that. The jerking off video came from Encyclopedia Dramatica, which sucked. And it was uploaded by somebody who was one of his early A-logs, like when he first started. So like 10 plus years ago when YouTube still had video replies. And this guy was obviously like obsessed with him, and the account that they pulled it off of was obviously like a parody, like troll account. So I'm willing to believe that some guy just looked at gay porn or went on 4chan to find like cum tribute videos and then found one of like a spindly white guy from the shoulders down that he could pass off as Razorfist. I'm willing to believe that. The other one is the grooming thing. And his evidence that he did not groom Eve is not as convincing. At the time, because you know her age and you know how old she is now. So if she was 15 when they first started talking, he claims that would have gone all the way back to when he was already with a woman that was his first girlfriend when he started streaming that was called Lady Fist. So his argument is that he could not possibly have met this Eve and chatted her up and got into a relationship with her at 15 because he was already in a relationship. Now, I know some of you may be naive in my chat, but as an expert in e-celeb drama, I regret to inform you that many, many e-celebrities are not fully monogamous, and they often cheat. And sometimes they goon in the bathroom while their innocent girlfriend is outside doing work, okay? So that is not evidence. That is no, I can't even give it any kind of benefit of the doubt. Like, I need something better than that. Just be like, yeah, okay, he didn't do that, and she's just lying. Now, I'm willing to say that she might be lying. And actually, while I was doing this, I should have downloaded this video. I don't know if I did. Oh, you know what? I think I was smart enough to download this video this time. I was not. I'm a retard, chat. I'm sorry. I'm just fucking stupid, Yana. Let me try downloading it real fast. Because I want to scan through it, and it would be much easier if I just had a copy of this video. Still pretty fast. Okay, so she does seem to be fucking crazy. She seems to be mucho loco or mucha loca, okay? Because at a certain point, she just outright threatens to murder him by slitting his throat, which is not the behavior of a neurotypical person who is capable of making believable narratives, chat. So that's the only thing that he has going for him in this defense video. His other main issue, besides not being very particularly convincing that he was not with her when she was 15, is that he chose to make this a rant, like his regular videos. And that was a very bad idea. And once it's downloaded, I'll play a little bit of it so you can get an understanding of why I think that's a bad idea. But it's a bad idea because if you ever seen me talk on a different podcast or as a guest appearance, I'm pretty different in how I talk to people because I'm not familiar with them and they're not familiar with me. And I'm just trying to like say what I have to say and be convincing. Whereas I can be really weird and stupid on my podcast because I know that most of you guys listening to this like me already and are going to more generously interpret what I have to say in a way that you think is like the most flattering to my either my take or my joke or whatever the fuck. So I can get away with a lot more when I'm talking to my audience than I can to strangers. His video was designed to rebuke accusations that are pretty serious, and he chose to do it in his whimsical rant format, which is just weird and off-putting. In particular, because he chooses to refer to like Smash JT as Gash JT and the Kino Casino as the Cringe Casino, and then he goes off for like 3 minutes about how fat PPP is, and it's just like, you know, some people listening to this video are going to like those people that you're talking about, and it would benefit you in your persuasive capacity to not immediately alienate the listeners of those podcasts. Because if you take that hostile stance, yeah, he's fat. He does it in his rant style, so he uses a lot of alliterations and calling him fat, but it's like, it's just not a good idea. It's not very flattering. And obviously I'm talking about it. So, and I'm talking about it in a way where it's like, well, I don't really fucking know if you groomed this girl or not, because the evidence that you showed me was very unconvincing. And I can't, I couldn't even get a hold of him. I was going to send him a message on the Kiwi Farms account, but he had blocked the Kiwi Farms account because when the Gooner thing happened, I tweeted about it and he blocked me. So I tried contacting him on my personal account now that I figured out I was not banned. But I only did that 2 hours before the stream, so now he hasn't had an opportunity to respond. And neither has Eve. I reached out to her as well, asking for more clarification about when they met and stuff. So now I think the video is downloaded. Let me see. If it is, it is. So I would like to play some videos of this. Before I do, let me read the tweets. Because before this video, or after this video, he was threatening people. He's buddy with Melanie Mack, who is like a actual whore. And Melanie Mack was like a whore for Ricada as well. I think Melanie Mack is actively still a whore for Ricada. I think she was the one that... Was she the one that wrote that letter to the courts, or was that Megan Fox? I can't remember. I just know that she was like a prostitute. She's like an actual OnlyFans whore that films videos of her sucking dick. And she's like 40 plus. And she's like a clinger on to every single retard. And it's just like, it's gross. Razorfist says, after years of foregoing drama due to the lies and libel of others, it appears I'll be ending. This is the other thing. He's acting like such a smug prick. I'll be ending a few YouTube careers this week. No one who doesn't deserve it. It's just a shame some people can't seem to hold a gun without putting it in their own mouth. Now back to the rants. And then he publishes his video. Melanie Mack down there trying to get on that D. He says, Smash AT says, Razorfist randomly crashing out today spurging. Wasn't on my bingo card, but I shouldn't be surprised. He says, one DM to confirm the story before committing libel is all it would have taken to avoid this, you Frodo-looking fuck. And then I think he got back and forth with PPP as well on Twitter. But that's not the interesting part.
This will be the one...
Okay, so this is him. Let's do a little bit of a room check. We got slop everywhere. By the way, one of the things that seems to have turned a lot of people against him in recent time is that he had this truly awful take that nobody sane could ever have, where he said that the character in Stellar Blade was Gunnar Slop. And as we know, gamers just want to have sexy women in their games, and nobody could ever possibly have that opinion. So apparently that did, unironically, like a lot of people talking about this are now like anti-Razorfist and like, yeah, just call him a pedophile because he said that Stellar Blade was too sexualized. Yeah, he is a lot like Styx. There was a while where I kept confusing them, but Styx is now like, he's like decayed, so he's much more obvious which is which now. Okay, let's see. What was I gonna show you? I want to show you the clips of the audio. Is this it?
Channel's front page and
too. Hold on, there is actually my lady just hurt herself.
Oh, that's him proving that he had a girlfriend at the time, which with his oldest videos. Okay, here we go.
Thereafter, we started streaming in 2015.
Yeah.
Oh, that's him getting his host to say that no, he was definitely in a relationship at this time, and it's just like, okay, as if that fucking means anything, bro. Okay, the voice of the accuser, so he can't even say Eve apparently.
You think that I...
Dude, just hold up. Oh, sorry, chat. There's a little bit of a delay here. Okay, no, wait. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to pull it up. Okay, I think this is it. I think this is the actual clip.
Coño, tú te crees que soy lindo, coño, tú deberías ya salir de tu casa, coño, y uno llamándote a ti como una maldita loca, coño, en la mañana, y tú ni contestas el maldito teléfono. ¿Ah? Y esta es la maldita hora, coño, que tú no le respondes a uno. Mamá huevazo.
Oh, sorry, that's a different monkey. Okay, this is the right one.
I cannot hurt you without the power of social media.
What?
Because I promise you I can. I have a bunch of shit that'll hurt you.
Okay, nice. Another threat. Very nice.
I'm just telling you the cold hard facts. I am aware of a bunch of shit that'll hurt your feelings. So, what the fuck do I need social media for if I want to hurt your feelings and make you hurt?
So that's... Wow. So we're up to threat number 3. I guess 6.
That's
If,
not a threat.
4, 5? 5 if we count the I will slit your throat or shoot you.
Yeah, because you were talking to me condescending, and I don't like that.
I was not trying to condescend. I was trying to get off the phone and calm things down.
What part you didn't understand. Like, I want you to deactivate your Twitter. You're not allowed to stream this week, and that's going to be the deal. Otherwise,
what?
You can hang up and we'll never talk again, okay?
This is this must be after Gunnergate. This must be her she's saying you must deactivate your Twitter. It must be that she found that he was like following OnlyFans girls on Twitter or something. That I'm getting a sense that that's what this is now that I'm listening to it again.
What?
I'm making you a deal.
took a turn, didn't it? What you've just heard was an admission to and justification of a murder threat. One that my ex, as a gun owner, actually possessed the means to carry out, might I add. On one occasion, she threatened...
So she's crazy. I got you. Is there like another one? Let's see what this is.
And after she attempted to make good on her threat to murder me, having already threatened...
You'll never be respected by me. That flew out the window, and I'll gladly slit your throat if you were ever off guard around me. I do not love you, and I never did. I cheated on you 4 times. Latinx bros. Latinx bros. I was told that this is the future of the white race. What's going on?
Threatened to invent a panoply of lies about me to embarrass me in public, as you just heard her admit to over a phone call. I finally resolved to do exactly that. But even after...
Dude, oh my god, chat, I didn't even realize. Like, okay, I'm just taking that as like, okay, she's probably just fucking with him because she's upset. But now chat is calling him a cuck. And now I'm seeing into the future. I'm seeing into the future. There's a fat Canadian, and he's saying, he's a cock! Really loudly, chat. And there's subs. I see the subs, chat. There's 100 subs coming in all at once. I just see this. I don't know. It's a vision. It's a premonition, chat, of what's of the future. Yeah, that's a thing to admit on the internet. Now, chat caught me slipping. I did not pick up on that, but yeah, that's a thing to admit for sure. Oof. Kino Bros paying off dividends over here. Okay, let's see what this is.
My ex actually refuted those allegations herself in other screenshots, which I posted as proof. So either she was lying on the first occasion, or she was lying on the second. In any case, a proven and inveterate liar. But the blackmail did exist, and here again.
The blackmail did exist after those last tweets. Oy vey. Oi, ay, papi, ay, Dios mío. Not the blackmail.
Again, on the subject of the entire underage narrative being nothing but a coordinated blackmail and smear campaign, indeed, for an admission of the fact that all of my girlfriends, including her, were very much of age, I don't want you to believe me. I want you to believe her.
I haven't leaked anything. I haven't mentioned anything. I haven't messaged anyone. I haven't.
The word for that is blackmail. When you threaten to do it. And that was my entire point to begin with. This crap about me being a predator and a pedophile. How freaking dare you? My girlfriends have been my age or older.
I know.
He sounded hilarious when he talks to his girlfriend. How freaking dare you? My girlfriend's been my age or older. He sounds so much like somebody. Like when he talks like that. I want to listen to it again. Maybe I'll hear it.
Girlfriends have been about me being a predator and a pedophile. How freaking dare you? My girlfriends have been my age or older.
It's just the way that he says that. My age or older. It's really similar to somebody.
I know.
But here's the hilarious part. It's all irrelevant. Not only did we prove that the entire timeline's impossible without a flux capacitor and plutonium, not only did the abuser in question admit to death threats and blackmail, not only did they admit they were of age while publicly lying that they were not, but by the grace of God, I had only just begun to return to my faith at the beginning of this relationship. And so, after multiple live-in girlfriends and physical relationships, I finally felt the conviction to actually wait until marriage. I have no defense. I'm simply a sinner. Oh, I intended to marry her, at least the person she was pretending to be, through a BPD technique known as mirroring, wherein they ask a lot of questions and they seem really curious and interested in your life, when in actuality they're assembling a composite personality of all of your likes and dislikes, which they then project back at you like some kind of mirror mask. A BPD abuser has no personality or empathy of their own.
I think we have the inverse opinion in chat. Cheeky Stinker says, never date white men with internet shows.
And they exploit yours. The victim of said manipulation is left to think they won the jackpot, at least initially. In my case, I thought I had a traditional Christian wife willing to wait until marriage, and then, a month in, the mask started to slip and she became openly abusive, both emotionally and physically. And so, for all the allegations of grooming and gooning, for all the dimwits and dipshits typing the words, "he slept with a child" in their thumbnails, not only was she of age by her own admission, I never proposed marriage, and thus we never slept together. But once again, I do not want you to take my word for it. Instead, I want you to do exactly what you've already been doing. I want you to take her word for it without any proof or research of your own of any kind.
If anybody were to come up to ask me and say, "Hey, how's Razor? How's living with Razor?" "Oh, he's a lying piece of shit."
That's not true.
Are you still a virgin? "Yeah, I'm still a virgin." "Oh, but I thought you lived with your boyfriend." "Yep, still a virgin."
Weirdest groomer ever! A relationship that requires a time-traveling DeLorean to actually occur, culminating in no sex whatsoever because we were both waiting until marriage. Saucy!
That is so strange, because he's not a virgin. I don't think she's a virgin either, Joe. I don't know. That is really strange. I didn't even pick up on this the first time I listened to it. What a fucking strange dynamic.
stuff, folks. I can see why you'd want to torpedo your entire YouTube career, attaching your credibility to it. But what about the most salacious allegation?
I guess his thought is that because he's a born-again Christian, that his slate has been wiped clean or whatever. So he's like a born-again virgin. Because I know that there are some women that do that. I've never heard of a man doing that, though, where he's like a born-again virgin trying to save himself, his chastity for marriage. Really strange.
Of all. The ones Blandy Worski and the Diabetosaurus next to him were shaking their talentless tits about for 20 minutes at a stretch, blissfully unaware it was the prologue to the end of their YouTube career. A decade-old, long discredited screenshot from a porn website that no longer exists.
I already covered this. I believe him on this. I want to get to the end because he starts yelling about PPP, and I think that's funny.
About a tweet! In fact, you should attach the final remaining micrograms of credibility you still possess on your person to push in this piss-poor nonsense and accomplish precisely nothing in the process but utterly embarrassing yourself being caught, once again, lying about strangers on the internet. But we expect laziness and libel from these cum-burping bitches. No one whatsoever surprised when Glandy Worski peers out from the coke cloud, flanked by an anonymous autistic asteroid who, if chins were brains, would rule the fucking world, pauses momentarily to comb an e-drama website that openly admits to lying its dick off from dawn to damn dusk, all to tank the remaining relevance of the Diabeto Casino. And as for Gash JT, the fart huffing hack who honestly confuses himself with an independent journalist, such that he's still spurging about stolen scoops that if his character in this instance is any indication, he likely stole from someone else. Also, he could slap white text on a wildly original thumbnail and express socially acceptable opinions on the 8 entire members of his imbecilic audience. Ah, well, what you lack in talent, you make up for in chromosomes. Look at the bright side, bud. I've ended bigger careers of infinitely more talented individuals in a 5-minute rant. You only took me 30 seconds. Walk it off, asshole. I hear they're hiring at IKEA. And the receipts you've heard today are only the tip of the shiceberg. I'm holding the real goodies back just in case a crazy person decides to be the latest Me Too accuser to lose in court. But publicly, outside of a courtroom, this is the first and last word I have said about this easily debunked bullshit. On with the rants.
I'm a little bit surprised by how much chat like that. So I'm going to do a poll. I'm a little bit curious. Let's do it in Kick. Poll. Did Razorfist epically own the Diabeto Casino? Question mark. Vote 1 for yes or vote 2 for no. And I haven't done this in a while, so let me explain. You have to type exclamation point vote 1 as a second word, or vote 2 for a second word. It's a little bit obtuse because it's across multiple platforms. So let's see. I'll let the votes roll in. See if there's anything else related to this. I'll skip ahead in the thread and see if maybe there's something I didn't see while that comes in. Boom. If you haven't noticed, I've been working on the thread highlight mod. That's just me saying what I said. It invites back and forth drama. It's like, you really don't want to get into the shit with PPP. Razor famously does badly in public spats because he's prideful in a way that is easy to mock. His general strategy of not saying much or not engaging was the smart one. Yeah, that's for sure. False. He calls his docs false, but he was absolutely phone booked over whatever as Daniel Harris. He had that name linked to his accounts and deleted said accounts after they were found. No mention later White Pages research on his parents or sister. To this day, he will not utter Daniel Harris despite claiming it was just a fake name. So he's had 2 different stories, apparently. He said that the jerk-off video was him underage and was hacked before, and now he says that it wasn't him. So I'll leave that up to you. If someone converts or not, that's like in the mind of the beholder. You can't really question that. Yeah, that's generally my opinion as well. Are there any more like zeets about this? Oh, he's having a fight with Gabe Hoffman, too. I almost forgot about that. Speaking of Gabe. So this is Evie. This is the guy. This is the original tweet that set everything off. She says, I dated a pretty well-known right-leaning asshole from 15 to 20. Then I, too, became a right-leaning asshole. Then the asshole ruined my heart and hurt me. I left at 20 and went back to being me. I wasn't right-wing before him, and I'm not right-wing after him. This was in 2022, so she's, I guess, 22 now. An open secret is Gabe's like anti-sex predator Twitter account. He says, did you know that Daniel Harris, aka Razorfist, groomed an underage teenager on the uppercase I internet? See, my positive influence seeping into the minds of my listeners and improving the internet for everybody, as intended. On the internet while in his 30s, as soon as she turned 18, she moved across the country to move in with him. After she left him, she began doing pornography. Oh boy. This is, I haven't seen this. I think this is what PPP was originally responding to, so let's listen.
It is.
Okay, then you need to go.
Well, how did you come to that conclusion? That doesn't even make any sense.
Because I am telling you, I don't want you to work that job.
Well, too fucking bad. I have the job and I'm not gonna quit.
Then fuck you. Get out.
No.
Yes.
No.
You realize I can just remove your name from the fucking lease. You don't pay rent.
I don't care. I'm going to go to sleep. I am tired. And that's how it's going to go down. Stare me down all you want. It's not going to work.
What? What is it going to work?
Staring me down and being verbally abusive.
What is it going to work?
That's not going to work. It's not going to be... Do you want me out tomorrow?
No!
I'm out.
You don't say how it ever fucking goes down. Shut the fuck up.
No. I will not.
God. He sounds...
Stop being verbally abusive.
That sounds really, really different from how he talks to her on the phone. When he talks to her on the phone and he knows he's recording her, he's like, hello, my little taco, my little burrito princess. Ooh. Have you considered not lying to me about the black males? Ooh. And then she's like, but then when she's recording him, he's like, you don't ever get to decide what happens in this household, you fucking harlot. I have told you many, many times, stalker child, to fucking not work that fucking job. Now you must get the fuck out. Fascinating how these dynamics work. She allegedly introduced him to things like the movie Lolita. As soon as she turned 18, she left home in Chicago to move in with him in Arizona. Then after she left him, she began doing pornography. I guess this is a message from her to him, to Gabe. I don't usually like to indulge internet drama, especially about my shitty and abusive ex, but yes, I was a teen girl when we started talking, which is how I got into right-wing politics. I was also introduced to things like the movie Lolita, which is why I often would wear dresses. Internet dated all the way until I was 18. Then I visited Arizona, came back to Illinois, and moved to Arizona quickly after. Things were fine at first, and then he randomly started getting mean as fuck. It's burned into my brain, him calling me things like low IQ troglodyte. Yeah, you got to be careful not to whip out your epic own ranter personality on your young Latinx girlfriend. I have a sneaking suspicion women tend to remember shit like that when you break out the low IQ troglodyte shit on them. Was just very nasty towards me, and I did literally everything for him. Towards the end of the relationship, I started catching him being sneaky. He had a porn addiction. I actually caught him red-handed one night, and he was so pissed off. He ended up pushing me hard towards the door. For some reason, he wanted to kick me out. I fell to the ground, and then he pinned me down and didn't let me up until a minute later. The next day, I was gone back to Chicago, and I haven't been back since. This was damn near 3 years ago now. I'm my own woman now. That's all I'll say. And then she says, and the reason for me saying this is because I'm tired of protecting somebody who hurt me mentally and physically. Says he spit in her face. He's very much an insincere asshole. Have a good day. And then Razorfist responded to Gabe Hoffman and says, did you know that you have just committed libel? That the accuser admitted to blackmail campaign? That I just annihilated these accusations and you by association? Did you know you just made yourself look like the clown you really are? Well, sir, you're threatening a hedge fund manager, so I have a feeling he's going to out-Jew you when it comes to laying down the Jew cards on the table. Yeah. See, I have my pet theory for this. I have my pet theory, and I think you guys will agree with me. Before I give my pet theory, let's round out the poll. With 150 votes, 60% of people said that Razorfist did not epically own the Diabito Casino, but actually 55 people or 38% did say that they got epically owned, which is a higher positive reception than I anticipated, actually. Okay. My take. The reason why. So obviously, as I said before, if he's going to sue for defamation in this instance, he would have to sue the originator of the false claims, which would be Eve. However, he is threatening Smash JT, Kino Casino, and also Gabe Hoffman, who has the material resources to mount a vigorous defense against him. So these are not easy targets, and they're also not the actual allegers of the claim, which makes me think that he is frustrated and he is damaged by these accusations, regardless of if they're true or not. But even with the assumption that it is all lies, and she is just outright trying to destroy him for a sadistic reason, because you know how bitches is, chat. You keep telling me how bitches is. So with the assumption that bitches is like that, chat, I think that he's actually terrified of her. I feel like he is like extremely afraid of what would happen if he brought her under oath in any way. And he is literally terrified of ever having to deal with her again. So that is my opinion. And he's not saying that. He's very he's sidestepping her at all times. He doesn't even say her name. He says the accuser in the video for the subtitle. He never says the name Eve at all. But he's very happy to, for whatever reason, he's very gung-ho to go after people talking about what she's saying, which just seems absolutely ridiculous to me. And the only thing I can think of is that he's fucking terrified of her. So a total BPD Latinx victory. Yeah, his response is like classic bad. Like, this is the exact kind of response that gets the internet drama muckrakers fucking gung-ho and happy as shit and, you know, super, super ready to get on live the next day and be like, he's a cuck! He's got blackmail! You know, that kind of shit. Like, this is how you, it's like touching a live electrical wire. There's an appropriate way to do that, and putting your dick and balls on it. It's not usually it's not, I'll say this is not the OSHA certified way to handle a live wire, okay? It's very, very perplexing. I don't even know. I would love to see more concrete evidence from either of them that what they're saying is true. I'm willing to suspend disbelief because I don't really hate them. But what a colossal fuck up. What a colossal fuck up to just do this, to go from being one of the more respectable commentators who avoids drama like the fucking plague to someone who's just like, all right, Asteroid Man, all right, Andy Koksky, it's time for your fucking beatdown. I got an 18-minute long rant that I've memorized so I can do it in one take. Your ass is fucking done. I'm ending your fucking careers. Like, unironically doing like a Ralph Amell wrestling promo cut. Like, sir, I don't think you realize what nest of wasp you just stuck your cock in, but I have a feeling that you're going to regret your decisions as time progresses. End clip. All right, next.